Good evening.
We're sisters who love to explore
true crime, cryptids, ghosties, haunted locations,
conspiracy theories, and all creepy, scary, spooky things.
with a bit of dark humor. Hosted by
Sarah,
and Melissa,
join us as we take a trip to the dark side.
because sometimes dead is better.
Welcome to Necromancy.
Hi.
Howdy ho!
Hey, how, neighborino? What's going on?
Nothing. I have a large forehead.
Yeah, it's about an 8 head.
I was gonna say like a 5 or a 6, but goddamn.
Oh, shit. I went a little bit far, but
Yo, fuck you.
am I lying, though? Look. Do that. Do it.
What? I'm gonna have to use both hands.
Look. Look, even if I do that, look. Go ahead. Right from the eyebrows. So if anybody that's not watching the YouTube,
I'm too scared.
do it. Wait. Oh, you got a 4 head. Oh, you got a 5 head.
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
It's a snug 5, but it's
Yeah, but you got to put your fingers together. You can't have them separated. See, there you go.
I got a 3 head. They are together, you fucking charmute. Look, I got a 5 head. That's what it is.
Oh,
Is that a ghost? Could that be a poltergeist? Or is that a fur baby? Oh, it's a Xena.
it's Zena. Oh, God.
Oh,
Ooh.
I just heard the front door open and close.
Oh, parents are home.
It's a good possibility.
That means close your door.
Oh, it is closed, bitch.
So, what's up?
Nothing. Can I tell you something stupid and weird?
Oh, Sarah, I expect nothing less from you.
Okay, so you know how I like screamo shit? Like I listen to like heavy metal and like screamo.
That's what I was listening to all day.
Okay. So I don't know how it found me on like the algorithm found me on TikTok or not, but like all of a sudden I've been like watching videos of like screamo heavy metal shit in different countries and languages.
I love
Bro,
it.
I'm not gonna lie, the fucking like the Indian one is lit. I don't understand a fucking word they say. Couldn't understand.
Indian one?
Yeah, I never thought I'd hear that come out of my mouth. It's not anything like that. They're screaming. They're fucking like the one guy. I'll have to look it up. The one name of this one, not the name, the cover of the one album for this one band, has like an elephant, like Ganesh, on a motorcycle.
Sweet. I love that. I love that for them.
I don't really care. Like I think, and then I was listening to what was it to like Japanese screamo and like metal and shit.
You're a really weird person, aren't you?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, how did this shit find me?
It finds you. It says, let's put the weirdest shit in her algorithm. Let's do that.
And she will watch and listen, and I sure
100%.
do. I
100%.
sure do. Yo, I don't even give a fuck. I don't care. I love that shit. I think it's so cool.
So, today was a rough day.
Today was a rough day for me, too.
Yeah, well, the fucking Red River of Satan. For you, not for me.
I was gonna say, it bit me in the ass.
Actually, oh yeah, it fucking shoved its fist up your ass and rotated it.
Might as well have because I bled like it.
Well, you and your niece are on the same cycle then, because this bitch is bleeding like a motherfucker.
Yeah, bro. Me and my little Zizi, we're on the same cycle for she's.
Well, she only gets hers once a year. Hella motherfucking Luya.
Yeah.
As she gets older, it's further and further apart.
Yeah.
But it's bad, bro. And everything in my house has blankets on it right now.
Yeah. Put a diaper on her.
Can't. Oh, and she's gonna want to go out now. I'm a slave.
You are a slave.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. There. See? That's me yelling at her to get the fuck out. She'll come back in. You'll see that door open.
She's gonna sit on the side of your face for that later.
I had a
sat on your
bad.
arm.
Yeah, she sat on my arm and I had a fucking nasty. Bro, I was like. But fuck. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, women for you.
Yeah, fuck. She's like, it's better than her sitting on her father. Because Mikey would have puked. Mikey would have puked 100%. Then I'll tell him,
not
well,
a girl dad.
Yeah, but I'll be like, well, she got to rub her bloody vag on you. What about me?
Oh my god!
Ew, I would never. Ew, that's so gross.
So Walter, poor Walter. This is the time of the month that he doesn't get shit. Sorry, Dad. And he goes, babe, he's like, should try to fuck around tonight. And I was like, no, bro.
Nope.
I'm like, that's not even a possibility.
Like get acquainted with Pamela.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, no. He was like, I wonder what would happen if I made you squirt when you were on your period.
That okay. Dad,
I was like, we just painted our walls, motherfucker.
Which would mean that it would be easy to wash. That happened with me and Mikey when we were first dating. Yeah. Huh?
You're bleeding and you sprayed?
Yeah, and it was on the fucking door. Yeah.
Yeah, see? I told Walter no. He's like, we'll put down a towel. I'm like, no.
No. Sorry for all the listeners that don't want to hear about this, but these things happen, and anybody who's married or whatever, they have experienced this.
Yeah.
And it's disturbing, and we will never. It happened one time, and it'll never happen again. But that's when me and Mikey couldn't control ourselves.
Now you're married and you sleep in separate beds half the time.
Marriage.
My girlfriend at work told me that too. She was like, she's like, I love my bed. She's like, I'm going home to sleep. And I can't remember how it came up, but she was like, oh yeah, because she's a lesbian. She has a girlfriend. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, me and her have our own bedrooms.
Yeah.
And I was like, pardon me? She's like, I take up the whole bed. I love my bed. Yeah. She's like, I sleep alone. And I was like, what? And my manager was like, how do you guys like, you was one sneak into the other one's room? She's like, no, we have a whole room for that. I was like,
nice. Okay. I love that for them.
Well,
we don't have a separate room just for sex, but like we'll bang in here, we'll bang in there. Look. This fucking dog. And
never mind.
In our bedroom and all over the place, but it is what it's my house. Like, yeah, you know.
I have a split in my nail, in my toenail. Oh, yes, I am currently picking my toenail because it fucking started to bleed, and
you're bleeding out of everywhere.
Apparently. But yeah, it really hurt. It's got like a little fucking like hangnail hanging off of the one end that's like separated from the other side. It's like
weird. I get that on my pinky. I get that on my pinky toes.
Oh, it's the fucking.
My pinky toes grow wonky.
Really?
Yeah, my pinky toenails, they're very wonky.
No.
They're like.
Show us your feet.
No.
Why not?
Well, I just cut my toenails off, so they're not even weird right now. But I legit have to like cut them, and then there's like a fraction of an inch left because I literally rip it to the point where it bleeds. Okay. Yeah, and then I put peroxide on it and stuff, and this is a very. Are you smelling? You're a fucking disgusting bitch. Anybody who's not watching the YouTube right now, this bitch legit just did the whole superstar thing. When I get nervous, I put my hands under here and I sniff them like this.
Sniff them like that.
She just did that with her fucking toe fungus.
I don't have fungus on my toes, bitch.
Yes, you do. You
no, I don't.
Nasty. Yeah, you do.
I have clean toes. I have cute ass toes.
Hobbity.
Oh, now they're home. Now they're home. Now they're there.
Yeah. So, anyways, you had a good day. Yesterday, well, what was it? Monday, I got the flu shot.
Oh, yeah.
I was a fucking little bitch last night. Legit. Like, I got home, and it's kind of crazy because, like, usually the needle doesn't hurt until the next day. My arm will get a little bit tender, like, the next day. And then I kind of feel shitty because I have a bad immune system. And fucking vaccines, they affect me in a weird way.
Yeah.
But within 5 minutes, dude, my arm hurt after the needle. And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be a rough day
I know,
tomorrow.
my pharmacist fucking stabbed the fuck out of, like, I was like, why are you angry with me? Like,
yes.
what did I do to you? He just stabbed the fuck out of me.
And so I was like, oh, great, this is going to hurt. Dude, I got home, and I take my scrubs off, and I put them inside out. Just so that I know, like, those have to go in the wash, right?
Yeah.
And when I took my scrub off, I looked, the whole arm where I got the needle was bloody.
Blood. Yeah,
I've never bled from a needle before. Have you ever bled like that?
No. How was your... Well, yes, only when I was getting blood taken from me, and they really
that's different.
Fucked up my arm, but not from, like, getting a needle.
Yeah, there was, like, blood all over my sleeve.
How was your heart monitor? Because you recently had a heart monitor on.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything back from that?
Nope. Nothing.
Oh.
I guess I'm normal. I had to wear that motherfucker for 3 days for nothing.
Yeah, that's a bitch. It's okay. I have a resident that needs it for a month right now.
I won't.
And I'm changing the batteries in every single day and looking after her.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
They say that you can't shower or bathe with a heart monitor on.
No.
So I had to hoe bath for 3 days, and I'm not a fan.
I have to help her take hers off so she could shower, and then I have to put them back on, so...
And I said that. I said, can I take it off for 5 minutes and shower? She said, no, it needs to be on for 72 hours. And I went, oh, no. She goes, well, if you don't want to do this, you can refuse, and you don't have to do it, but...
Don't recommend it.
I have to do it because my doctor's recommending me to do it.
Yeah.
I said, I have to do it. And she goes, well, then you're going to have to sponge bath for 3 days.
Oh, you were a stanky bitch.
No, No, I don't stink. I'm a very clean person. And I sponge bath my arms. And Mikey said he was going to do it, and then me and him got into a fight, so I told him to go fuck himself.
Did you have cheese between your lips? Were your lips cheesy?
No. I fucking use baby wipes after I piss, you asshole. I'm a baby wipe person, okay? I wipe my tender ass with baby wipes. I don't use just toilet paper. I'm very clean, okay? Do you remember back in the day when, what was his name? He was like a rapper or something, and he said that he wouldn't ever be with a woman unless she used baby wipes?
I don't know who that was.
I don't remember either, but I remember hearing that there was some, like, rapper or whatever, and he was like, I refuse to be with a woman who just uses toilet paper. And it's like, okay, do you use baby wipes on your fucking dick hole every time you piss? Because that should be stankin' too.
Yeah, bro.
Especially if you're uncircumcised. Cheesy.
Gross. Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready to get into this story.
Are you? Because this one's a doozy.
Actually, yeah. So, do you know how hard it was for me to not look this one up? Because I have actually no idea. Hold on. I might know it if I start to hear it, but I don't know it by the name that you gave me.
You may know it by one of the victims. Okay? Because back in the day, go on your phone right now. Get your phone. Google The Changeling with Angelina Jolie and tell me what year that came out. Because I didn't Google that.
1980.
No, Sarah. Angelina Jolie, The Changeling. 1980.
It says The Changeling!
No, with Angelina Jolie. It was in the early 2000s. Mid-2000s.
2008.
Okay, so that movie has to do with this case. So this case is called the Wineville Chicken Coop Murders. Okay? So I'm going to give you a brief synopsis, and then we're going to go into Walter Collins.
Okay.
Get rid of your Google. Stop looking at Google. Get rid of it.
Looking at Google.
Okay. So I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of what happened, and then we're going to get into it, okay? And this is a doozy. This might be over an hour.
Okay.
Okay, so in 1928, Southern California was a booming agricultural and movie industry. It had transformed the area into a lovely metropolis. However, a string of child abductions and murders in the small town of Wineville changed the view of the city. Okay? A man named Gordon Stewart Northcott kidnapped, sexually abused, and murdered at least 3 and possibly as many as 20 young boys. It is believed that he had the help of his mother and his Canadian nephew to commit all these crimes.
Oh my God.
This one's a doozy. Okay, I'm going to let you know right now, this one's rough. So anybody who has a problem with child stuff, which I do, but this story has to be told. Okay, and eventually it had to be told on our podcast too. This one's rough. This one's rough. So on March the 10th, 1928, Walter Collins disappeared. This 9-year-old boy was last seen around 5 p.m. by a neighbor at the corner of Pasadena Avenue and North 23rd in Lincoln Heights, Los Angeles. His mother, Christine Collins, gave him some money to go see a movie at a nearby theater. His father was at Folsom State Prison for robbery. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this one gets wild, bro. This Walter Collins case, wild.
Oh my God.
So the Los Angeles Police Department was already under investigation for several corruption scandals, and their inability to locate Walter Collins was rather embarrassing to the police. So the police chief, James Davis, was under a lot of pressure to solve the case. The police looked along Lincoln Park Lake, but were unable to find anything. Walter's father thought maybe a former inmate were responsible for his son's disappearance in an attempt to get revenge. He worked at the prison's cafeteria and was responsible for reporting other inmates' infractions. With this sort of a job, it is possible that he made more than a few enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So several tips came in, but nothing turned out to be very useful. A gas station attendant in Glendale, Richard Struthers, reported seeing a dead boy wrapped in newspaper in the back of a car with a foreign couple.
Okay.
Would you say something right away?
Yeah.
Huh, okay. So the couple stopped to ask for directions, and this guy apparently saw a dead kid wrapped in a newspaper. Okay.
Yeah.
So a man named C.V. Staley followed the couple when they left the gas station. The couple stopped for a few moments in front of the police station and then sped out of town, losing Staley. When the police showed Struthers and Staley Walter Collins' photo, they both said that it was the boy in the back of the car.
Jesus.
Other tips came in about a couple traveling across the state with a boy who was begging them to let him go. Walter's disappearance wasn't the only one around this time. Nelson and Louis Winslow, 10 and 12-year-old brothers, went missing on their way home to Pomona on May the 16th, 1928.
Oh.
That's the boy's birthday.
My boy, yeah.
So their parents received strange letters from them. The first said that they were heading to Mexico, and the second said they plan to stay missing as long as they can become famous.
Oh, yeah.
This is a 10 and a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
But 1928, so who really... Two kids, just they want to travel to Mexico? Okay. So the police didn't connect these two disappearances together at first. They also didn't find a connection between these cases and the headless body of a Latino boy found in La Puente in February. And with none of these connections made, a neighbor's complaint about a man mistreating a boy at a poultry farm didn't appear to be relevant either.
Oh my God.
So LA at this time was technically and really the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Okay? But there was police, but what were they doing?
Well, the only thing I could think of is it's all different. It's like it doesn't have a pattern just yet. It's only the young boys. That's the only pattern.
Right.
But the places and the things that they're being told is all over the fucking place.
All over the place.
So it's hard to connect them right at first.
Right.
Which I understand.
Okay, in August of 1928, Illinois police picked up a boy who told them his name was Arthur Kent. At first, he would say only that his father abandoned him, so they placed him with a temporary family. Eventually, he told them his real name was Walter Collins from Los Angeles, and that he had been avoiding their questions to protect his father. Illinois police contacted Illinois police contacted California police, and they sent photographs of the boy, and later sent him to Los Angeles. California authorities contacted Christine Collins and showed her the photos of her son. She immediately said, "That is not my son." However, Captain J.J. Jones talked her into trying out the boy for a while.
Wait, what?
Okay, we're going to rewind for a second. So her son goes missing, completely gone. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you later. They pick up this kid, random kid, okay, who first of all says his name is Arthur Kent, and say, "Here you go, Christine Collins. This is your son. Try him out for a while. See how it fits."
Well,
Does it
just
feel
because
right?
he gave the name of her missing son after.
Yeah. Says, "This is Walter Collins." 3 weeks after their reunion, Christine Collins brought the boy back to the police station. She brought with her Walter's dental records and a signed statement from people who knew Walter, saying that the boy was not him.
Yeah.
Captain Jones called her a lunatic and claimed she was trying to get the state to take care of her child, and believed she was trying to embarrass the police department. So he threw her into the psychiatric ward in Los Angeles County.
Shut the fuck up.
On a Code 12, which allowed police to get rid of troublemakers by throwing them into psychiatric hospitals.
What a sin. That guy's burning in hell right now.
So not only is she like, "This is not my kid."
He's trying to gaslight me right now and be like, no, this is your kid.
He said, "Bitch, this is your kid. And you're going to fucking take care of your kid because the state is not going to take care of your kid." And she's like, "But this is not my kid.
Yeah.
His dental
She was
records
even
are
gonna
not."
back it up with the fucking proof.
Yeah, these dental records say that this is not my son. And he said, "You're a fucking lunatic, and I'm going to have you committed to the lunatic asylum."
That would hurt like 10 times more. You know, you're grieving about your child being missing, and then they try to make you accept another child as that child. And when you say something, you get thrown away for it. That poor fucking woman. I would lose my mind. I would have a mental breakdown if that happened to me.
Yeah.
So what happened with the child then? Was he like not saying anything? Did he keep trying to say, "Oh, that's my mom"? She's lying.
We'll get back to it. Okay, so in September of 1928, a Canadian woman named Winifred Clark contacted the U.S. authorities, U.S. authorities to tell them that her nephew had kidnapped and was holding her son, Sanford Wesley Clark, in California. Okay? Did you get that?
Repeat yourself.
Okay, so a Canadian woman, I
Yes.
think they're from Winnipeg, Winifred Clark contacted U.S. authorities to tell them that her nephew had kidnapped her son and was holding her son, Sanford, in California.
Okay.
Okay. So Jessie Clark was worried about her 15-year-old brother since he left 2 years prior with their uncle, Gordon Stewart Northcott, who was only 21 years old at the time. Jessie decided to go to Northcott's ranch in Wineville, California to check on things. In the few days she stayed, she found her uncle was abusing her brother and was involved in something very strange. Her uncle even attacked her on multiple occasions. I'm so sorry. So on September the 15th, 1928, Sanford told investigators that his uncle kidnapped him, physically and sexually abused him over 2 years. Okay? He also said that Northcott had forced him to watch the abuse and murders of Walter Collins, Nelson and Louis Winslow, and other boys. Sometimes he even made him participate in these acts. Gordon Northcott abducted boys to rape them, and when he got bored, he would lead them into the incubator room to see hatching chicks and kill them with an axe. To destroy evidence, Gordon Northcott covered their bodies with quicklime.
Oh my God.
So they said that when he went up to Canada to see his mother and sister, that Winifred Clark,
Yeah.
okay, her son was like 12 or 13 at the time. And she said, take him with you. I can't deal with him anymore. He needs to go and work on your chicken farm. So he took him down to California, to Wineville. And there's a whole book that this kid wrote, Sanford. He died in like the 1990s too. So
Okay.
not too long ago. But he wrote a whole thing saying that his uncle came and got him. And within like the first 3 days of him being on the chicken coop, he was sodomizing him. Like rough. Like
Oh
bad.
my God.
Yeah.
And he had to endure that for 2 years.
2 years. And he watched his uncle kill up to 20 boys. So anyway, Sanford also said Gordon had killed a Latino boy in La Puente. They both killed Walter Collins because the boy had seen Gordon help another man kill his mining partner. So Walter Collins is dead.
Yeah.
That boy, the
It's
mother,
definitely not. Yeah. She was
that's
right.
definitely, yeah, that's not her kid. So Sanford told the police that they could find the graves near the chicken coop for the Winslow brothers and for Walter Collins. 2 graves were found, but the full bodies were not there, only pieces of bone. An axe was found among other farm equipment, had human hair and blood on them. Several bones were scattered across the ranch, which pathologists later determined to be that of male children. Inside the house, a book checked out to one of the Winslow boys was found. Also, more letters to their parents were written. So what this motherfucker did is he got these kids, okay, to write all these letters to their parents.
Yeah. To make it seem like they were still alive.
And then he killed them, and he was still sending letters to their fucking parents.
What a sin.
All the time, raping and killing them.
Oh.
Okay? And there is things that Sanford said where he would be sitting outside the chicken coop and he can hear the boys screaming.
Oh my God.
Okay? And this is all the boys that were raped and killed by this fucking monster. He could hear them screaming. And he said that, like, in his book, he was saying that even as an old man, sometimes at night he could still hear them screaming.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I would fucking, I would, like, this is where, like, you would want, there's this movie that came out, and I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the preview and I know the premise of it. And basically, people that do that kind of shit, when they get caught, the family can decide if they die right away, quick and easy, or if they die a slow, painful death.
Whew.
I don't know the name of it, but I keep seeing little snippets of it. And they, like, basically, there's one family that, like, mutilates the fuck out of this guy. Like, they cut off
Yeah.
his fingers, pull out his teeth, fucking everything to this guy, and let him suffer over a long period of time. People like that, people like this motherfucker deserve that shit.
Well, he'll get his.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Okay, good.
So, a child's whistle and several Boy Scout badges were found. Nothing that can be directly attributed to Walter Collins was found, though. Because he didn't bring much with him. He went to a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Gordon's father, Cyrus George Northcott, told police 2 days later that his son had admitted the murders to him. But by the time Gordon and his mother, Louise Northcott, had left town, she took her kid, the one that was fucking raping and murdering kids, and fled. Okay? So the Los Angeles Police Department initially continued to insist that Christine Collins had her son.
Mm-hmm.
They only discontinued this belief when a handwriting expert came to the analysis of writing styles. The expert concluded that this boy's handwriting was definitely not a match to the samples collected from previous years. The strange R's the boy used was commonly taught in Illinois and not in California.
Mm.
Also, another reason, okay, is Walter Collins was circumcised. This boy was not.
So where the fuck did this kid get that name from?
He definitely saw a missing poster of some sort. So this kid, I don't remember if I say it. I do. Never mind. I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Okay? So the boy eventually tells the truth. He admitted to several other aliases as well. He said he had decided to try to pass off as Walter Collins when somebody mentioned he looked like the missing boy. Arthur Hutchins, 12 years old, had assumed Collins' identity in an attempt to go to Hollywood to meet his cowboy hero.
Oh.
You can't blame him. He's 12.
Yeah.
Okay? He saw an opportunity back in the 1920s. There wasn't much.
Yeah.
You know, he was a lonely kid that was on his own, and he saw a chance and he fucking took it. Okay?
That poor
So
woman.
yeah, but he didn't. At 12 years old, you do not understand what you're doing to somebody. So I'm going to give this kid a pass in my books because he was a child and he saw an opportunity to go and meet his cowboy hero, Tom Mix.
Yeah, he probably didn't obviously think it through or think it would harm anybody, right? Like,
right. He saw an opportunity to go to LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so his stepmother picked him up in Los Angeles and took him back to their Illinois home. He didn't appear to have any remorse for his actions and said Christine Collins must have known he wasn't her son, so it wasn't a big deal. Shortly after Arthur Hutchins went home, Christine Collins was released from the institution.
Yeah.
On September the 20th, 1928, Gordon Stewart Northcott was arrested in British Columbia. They arrested his mother, Sarah Louise Northcott, in Alberta. In December, they took Gordon back to his ranch in an attempt to get more information. While there, he verbally confessed to 5 murders, including the Winslow brothers, Walter Collins, and a Mexican boy named Alvin Gathia. However, later that day, Gordon only admitted 1 homicide in a written confession, and that was the name was the murder of Alvin Gathia.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck this guy.
yeah, fuck this guy. This guy's a real fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So also in December, Gordon's mother confessed to the murder of Walter Collins.
Oh.
She said she delivered the final blow to the boy and then buried him in a hole near the chicken coop. Sanford Clark said his grandmother had told them that if each of them hit the boy, they will be equally guilty if caught. Sarah Louise Northcott was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Walter Collins. That's some psycho shit. Like, I understand doing everything for your kid, but if your kid is fucking raping and murdering children, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. No.
What the fuck? Your kid is like 22, 23 years old at this point.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. That's like some Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Like families all fucking.
Apparently, this whole family, which includes his sister, which sent her son to Wineville, Sanford, they all knew that he was a pedophile.
Yeah. Thanks, babe. He loves me.
Oh well, you're gonna have to wait on that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat right now.
So they all knew that he was a pedophile.
That's gross.
Okay.
If I ever found out
his
that my
father
child was doing fucked up shit like that,
oh,
it would hurt me first and foremost. Second, I could never let him fucking get away with that. Are you kidding me? I've already put the fear of God into him. So
now tell me, would you turn him in?
It would be hard, but I would. It would be extremely hard. But knowing that if he was doing something that heinous, there's got to be mentally something wrong with him and he needs help. And I would have to. I wouldn't be able to know that and just not do anything about it.
I told Aiden, I said, I'm sorry, but if you ever hurt somebody, I would turn you in so fast.
Yeah.
I said, don't hurt anybody. I said, I understand little things, little criminal things that you might do in your future, but you hurt somebody, I'm going to turn you in.
Yeah.
You don't hurt people. You don't do things to hurt innocent people. You can't do that. I said, if you ever, rape or murder somebody, I'm going to turn you in.
That's right.
I said, and that's that, because you, nope, yeah. No bueno.
No, that's no bueno.
Okay, so Gordon Stewart, whoops, my thing just fell, hold on. Gordon Stewart Northcott's trial began in January of 1929. Gordon filed several Gordon fired several defense attorneys and proceeded to defend himself. He admitted to abusing young boys because he loved them. He even had his mother testify for him. She claimed that she was actually his grandmother because her husband had raped her daughter Winifred, and Gordon was Winifred's son. Which means that Sanford would be his brother, which means he was raping his brother. It's fucking gross.
Jesus.
It's gross either way, but that's gross. Yeah. Okay. Gordon also claimed to have an incestuous relationship with his mother, and that his father had molested him for years. Gordon's defense was rather odd, and it was obvious that he had no lawyer. Along with the strange defense, Sarah Louise didn't prove to be a very credible witness since the only continuous statement she made was that she would do anything for Gordon. What?
I said, ugh.
So on February the 8th, 1929, an all-male jury convicted Gordon for first-degree murder of the Winslow brothers and an anonymous victim.
Anonymous victim?
3 boys. Well, I guess because they couldn't fully identify that it was Walter Collins.
Oh,
But there was a body, but DNA was not a thing then.
I see.
Right? This is 1929.
Yeah, but wouldn't they say like an unknown victim? Like a John Doe?
But that's what they said.
Or John Smith or whatever?
No, like a John Doe.
Yeah.
But the Winslow brothers and an anonymous victim.
Anonymous, which means that maybe because he was underage, the family didn't want to release any of that information?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Judge George R. Freeman sentenced him to death.
Good.
Although he was convicted and sentenced to death, the families of his victims didn't have closure due to the inability to find intact bodies.
I don't like this case, Mel.
Yeah. So there was a lot of bodies found. They say up to 20.
Wow.
As he was being led to the gallows, he was screaming and crying.
Good. I hope he pissed himself. I hope
he did.
Himself. Oh, he did?
He pissed himself.
Good. Motherfucker.
And he was begging to not kill him. Please, please, please don't kill me. Crying and whimpering like a little bitch.
Just like the little boys that he fucking did that to?
Yeah, that Sanford can hear fucking screaming.
Yeah. Piece of shit. What a piece of shit. How do you do that to a child? How do you do that to anybody? But
Disgusting.
Never mind, a child.
Disgusting. Okay, so Northcott was hanged on October the 2nd, 1930. He was screaming and crying all the way to the gallows.
Beautiful. Oh, we should have celebrated. We just passed that date.
Right?
Nah.
So shortly after his execution, the Wineville chicken coop murders were finally put to rest after the citizens decide to change the town name.
To?
They changed it to Mira Loma, California.
Okay.
A lot of people know Mira Loma.
Yeah.
Which means view from the hill in Spanish. This name change helped the town to disassociate from the horrific acts on the poultry farm.
Yeah.
So the horrors of the Wineville chicken coop murders were introduced again when Clint Eastwood filmed The Changeling. The story reflects Christine Collins' attempt to recover her son Walter. The Changeling showed Christine Collins' perseverance to overcome the unjust law enforcement system and learn the truth about her son.
Yeah.
Gives me goosebumps, bro.
Did she get any sort of hey, fuck you to the police for doing that to her?
She did.
Not a girl.
Hold on, because I did have it, but I don't know where it went. And sue police. I don't remember if she. Hold. Walter B. Collins. Blah 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 blah. Betrayal and media. Yeah, I don't remember how much she got. Right, but betrayal in media, imposter, blah 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 blah. Aftermath. He's found guilty. Okay, so she did sue the police chief.
Good.
She did sue the police chief. And she was awarded $15,562 in Supreme Court, which today is worth $320,000.
Okay.
Okay, but Christine died on December the 8th, 1964. At the age of 75.
No.
Well, that wasn't a long case. That wasn't as long as I thought it would be. It's sad to think about, but this guy was a real fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, which is really weird because Usually, if I don't know like the title or the name that it's under, once I start hearing a story, I'll typically pick it up and be like, "Oh yeah, no, I know this story.
Yeah.
Didn't know this one."
Like, even when you look at it, like, it's, child murder, this and that, and the next thing, right? But then
Yeah,
when you look at it, it's fucking crazy. But Jessie, okay, Sanford's sister, she's the real fucking hero of this whole goddamn story.
yeah,
Okay, because she was worried about her little brother, and she went to the fucking chicken coop and was like, "Where the fuck's my brother?" And said, "This boy is being abused. What the fuck is happening here?"
yeah.
And brought attention to all of it. So at the end of the day, like,
If it
Jesse's the
wasn't for
fucking
her,
hero. Yeah, Jesse's the fucking hero. You know what I mean? Like, there was lots of body parts found though on this chicken coop.
oh,
But he was charged with the 3 because they found 3 shallow graves, right? Like, it's just crazy. So the evidence found in those graves consisted of 51 human body parts.
Jesus. Well, you just got to think, as much torture as they went through, that they're not feeling it now.
Well, but still, like, imagine those poor boys are just walking around that area,
Yeah,
lost. You know what
their
I mean? Like,
spirits. Yeah,
to think about that, and to think about, like, Sanford, like, he had to endure what he did, you know what I mean? Like, having to deal with his uncle raping him.
yeah. That's something that you could never.
Like, apparently fucking brutal too. Like, brutally. And
Yeah.
Sanford went on to fight in World War II. And he came home. And him and his wife could not have babies. So he adopted 2 boys.
Oh,
And treated them like gold. And they loved their dad. And
good.
he eventually opened up to them and told them what happened to him.
Oh,
And they encouraged him to write a book.
which he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why a lot of people know about the chicken coop murders,
Okay.
because
Wow,
it
he
was,
went to the war, eh? So this guy just took out all his rage on the fucking enemy. Imagine that guy
yeah,
on the fucking field, somebody with that much like mental anguish and pain.
yeah,
Woo! That's why he survived. I'll tell you that
yeah. And there's
right now.
every fucking German face he saw, he probably saw his uncle.
I was gonna say, I'll tell you right now, that's why this motherfucker survived, because he had a lot of built up rage and anger in him.
Yeah. So, but he adopted 2 boys and apparently treated them like fucking gold.
Aw.
You know, he was a good dude, and
Yeah.
he endured something that we hope nobody ever fucking has to go through.
Yeah.
Like, he endured it and fucking survived it, and went
Lived
on
his
to tell
life.
his and went on to tell his story. And he went on to he testified against his uncle. And the crazy thing about it is, he was testifying against his uncle, and guess what? His uncle was his own lawyer. So guess who got to cross-examine him?
Oh my, that would be traumatizing.
Yeah.
And they have to allow that in court.
Well, wait until we do Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy did the same thing.
Yeah, I know
He
he did.
interrogated his own fucking victim.
I know. Well, with Ted Bundy, it was like he was reliving shit. He got them to
Yeah.
fucking, yeah.
And he fucking the judge said that with one of the girls that he cross-examined, he got mad and fucking yelled at her and shit, and the judge said, "We just saw your true colors."
Yeah. Piece of shit.
And, like, you know that picture of Ted Bundy where he's like,
Yeah.
that's that moment where he's yelling at the fucking his witness.
Yeah.
And his victim.
And he
You
was
know
so
what I think
fucking
is
cocky too.
Yeah. And you know what's fucked up? Like, where is this guy's body? Did he get cremated and flushed down a fucking toilet or something? Like, there's no idea on what happened to him.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. And that guy was a fucking the devil.
I hope that they turned his ashes into like a fucking like a butthole, so
A
people could
butthole.
so people could just fuck him.
Turn him into a fleshlight.
Yeah. Just
Gross.
let everybody have a turn.
You know what? I thought that was going to be a lot longer because there was quite a bit of information, but I kind of soldiered through that one. We didn't really chat much about it, but
it's a sad one for sure. That's
crazy. But
it's
here's the
always
thing
the
about it.
kids. It's always the kids and the animals that fucking
Yeah.
get me, man.
I wanted to tell this story. I didn't want to get into a lot of detail on it because there was another, it's called the True Crime Couple, and they got into a lot of detail about certain things, and I can't. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to. When it comes to kids and this kind of shit, tell the story, but don't give me some details.
No,
that hurts. But
it does. I don't want to talk about certain details about
what they went through.
No.
Those poor babies.
Yeah, and like just the thought of hearing that. I'm not a fan. I don't like it. Yeah. But you know what? They deserve to have their stories told.
Yeah.
And they deserve, to have their names not be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember BuzzFeed Unsolved?
Of course I do.
So they did an episode on Walter Collins.
Oh.
So if you go back on YouTube and look up BuzzFeed Unsolved Walter Collins, the disappearance of Walter Collins, you've probably seen the episode.
I probably have. God damn it.
Right? So they did an episode because technically, because they never did identify Walter Collins' body, he's technically still a missing person. Okay? Still to this day. Almost 100 years later.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So
I got it right here.
Yeah. So the disappearance of Walter Collins. And you could go on there and kind of they just talk about Walter Collins. They don't really talk about the other boys. Because those boys are definitely solved. Gordon Northcott, he definitely killed the Winslow boys.
Yeah.
Definitely. 100%. They know he did.
Yeah.
Okay, but because Walter Collins was picked up going to the movies, he probably didn't have much of stuff on him. Yeah. Where the Winslow boys, they were on the run.
Yeah.
Right? Or they were out doing whatever, and they had some of their stuff with them.
Yeah.
And then they were abducted, right?
Oh.
It's really fucked up to think about.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that always, you think about, too, is that if you die in a horrific way and you're, tortured or something like that, then, in my belief, your spirit is going to be restless.
Yeah.
Your spirit is going to roam and you're going to be restless. And those poor fucking boys went through all of that shit.
Yeah.
You hope that they're at rest.
Which they're not.
Yeah. You can only
They're not, because they died in a horrific way.
Yeah. You got to hope that they are, but...
Well, if I ever get to Miraloma...
Yep.
Because there is another case that I'm going to do soon. It's called the McDonald's Massacre. You ever hear of that?
Like I said, I don't always know the name of it, but once I start hearing the story is usually when I'm like, yes, I do.
I think there's a documentary on Prime called 77 Minutes or something.
Okay.
Go and look it up. You can watch that. This one I didn't want you to go into.
Yeah.
But you can go watch that. It's called, I think it's called 77 Minutes. And it's about this guy who fucking goes into the McDonald's and just blasts 21 people. Kids, babies, people. It's horrific.
Oh my God.
And it was near San Diego, California. So California, there's something in the water there.
I was going to say, there's something in the water.
So, funny story, just because we're going to kill time for the last couple minutes. Aiden today, he's sitting downstairs and he goes, so where does our water come from? And I said, the water treatment plant. And he goes, yeah, but where's it come from? I said, the toilet, the faucet. He goes, stone face. He goes, what? And I said, well, yeah, like, they filter it out and they clean it. And he goes, so I'm drinking shit water? I said, yep, probably.
The water that you're drinking has probably been through either a dinosaur or some sort of animal and through multiple people.
Yeah, and I told him, I said, oh yeah, 100% you're drinking dinosaur piss.
Yeah.
I said, because all the water on Earth has always been here.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere. I said it stays here, so it just gets recycled.
That's right. It evaporates, goes into clouds, gets rained down, and continues.
But I said to him, I said, you know on Commercial Street? I said, you know that big, like, weird treatment plant? He goes, yeah. I'm like, they're filtering out your shit from there. And it's just getting rid. And he's like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, I was a heart attack. Like, what the... Yes, I'm serious. That's from. I said, it's the water plant. I said, that's what they do. They put chemicals in. I'm like, why do you think our water has a bunch of chemicals and minerals in it? They add that so that you don't taste shit water. Why do you think we got the filter in the fridge? Reverse osmosis.
That's hilarious.
And he was like, that's gross. I'm like, well, you've been doing it your whole life, so what does it matter?
It's not really something you typically think about, because when you do start to think about it,
nasty.
You're like, I'm never going to drink water again.
See, and that's the problem. I can't think about it because I have this fucking weird germaphobe thing.
I know you do.
When I started talking about that, my throat started to hurt. So I drink like 80 fucking ounces of water.
I was going to say, we both drink a lot of water every day.
I've probably ingested water that I've pissed in before. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who cares? Water is water. I like it. Tastes good.
I'm good with it.
I'm going to Buffalo.
Yeah, it's Devil's Night tonight, bitch. Woo!
Oh, shit. Let's bring the eggs out. Eggs are way too expensive to throw out.
I know, right?
This is adult world now.
Yeah, all the kids that fucking be like trying to take their eggs, the parents are probably losing their shit.
Like, get the fuck, put that shit back. Yeah. Remember when we were kids, fucking eggs were like $1 a carton?
Yeah,
not even. Like now they're like $7 a carton. I'm like, you put that motherfucking egg carton back in the fridge,
right?
But kids today, we call them video game kids.
Yeah.
Okay, because Evan, he's probably up in his room right now. We were like fucking suiting up in black as teenagers, ski masking. We were like,
bandanas,
let's go.
Fucking, oh yeah, you name it. Yeah, no, Evan is definitely upstairs.
100%.
Yeah.
But then again, like, I'm sure there's no kids out right now anyway.
Yeah, that's something that, like, our generation fucking did back in the day.
How sad, though.
That shit has died. There's a lot of things that have fucking, like, gone and died.
Do you remember when we were kids, when we were in, like, down on Eastern Avenue and Queen Street, every fucking house gave out candy?
Yeah.
Every fucking house. You would literally go from one house to the next house to the next house. Everybody gave out candy.
Do you know how many kids we get a year?
2.
Maybe 2, 3.
Nora. You guys get Nora?
We get Nora. And there's a little girl down at the end of the street there. And other than that...
That's sad. Like, we get quite a bit here.
Oh, we got so many in the city. Like, we got hundreds of kids.
Oh, my God. Jenny would buy over 200 candies. And at the end of the night, me and you were dumping out our fucking bag and giving her all the candies we didn't want to give out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, back then, I just remember McBride was the best.
Popping with all the schools around us? Are you fucking crazy?
Yo, those streets were popping at Halloween.
Yeah.
Like,
not
even
like
when we were younger and, like, I would go trick-or-treating with Sammy Davidson.
Yeah.
We'd go up Mississauga Road, bro.
Yeah.
They would give out full candy bars.
Yeah, that was the spot.
Fuck yes, it was. And then what we would do is we would fucking change a mask or change a cape and do all the same houses again.
No, you fucking sneaky bitch.
Hell yeah. Or we would switch like between whoever was in the group, and some of us would go on the other side of the road and we'd go on this side and then switch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'd get double the fucking candy. I remember coming home with like packs of fucking like king size
Pillowcases. Yeah.
full of candy, full.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
we would have to at Eastern Avenue. Remember, we used to dump our candy out in the fucking living room and go back out.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the night, we'd go and ring Grandma and Grandpa's doorbell.
Yeah.
And then they would just give us the rest of the fucking. Remember the candy bags?
I was gonna say they made like special ones for us.
Yeah. No, but even like the community. Remember us making the fucking paper bags and they'd put like Jack Aslan Roofing on it?
Yeah.
Remember that? J. Aslan Roofing, the stamp? And that was our job as kids. All fucking like, what, 4 or 5 of us would all get together because Jacqueline and Emmy weren't born yet.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I will never forget you were with us the one year where we went out with our cousin David. And I think he was a cow that year. He was so small. And we went to the house and huh?
Dad and Jen with us? Dad?
Probably Dad. I think it was Dad. Anyways, there was a house where the guy was sitting out front dressed up like a fucking
By
and
Duke.
David fucking cried. Yeah, by Duke.
Yeah.
And David cried and I almost peed myself.
Me too.
Laughing.
I remember that.
Because he jumped up so high and turned around and ran. And I was like, that was amazing.
I remember exactly what house you're talking about too. It was right at the end of the road by Duke.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
On the left side.
Yep, that's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Trick-or-treating downtown Toronto was the fucking best.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. Yeah.
Because everybody gave out candy. Like, even at the TTC.
Yeah.
Remember, the TTC would give us fucking candy, too.
Yeah.
But Grandpa's was always the best, because at the end of the night, we would all fucking congregate to Grandpa's house, and whatever he had left, he would give it to us.
The little brown paper bags full.
And do you remember before Halloween, Grandpa and Grandma would buy a shit ton of candy?
Yeah.
And we'd have to sit there and make like 500 fucking bags.
Yeah.
Grandma, let me in.
No.
No. You stay out there and make candy bags. Slave. So at the end of the night, I was like, give me my fucking payment.
I know, right?
The rest of the fucking candy. Whatever you didn't give out is ours.
That's right. I packed that shit.
He'd be like, take it all. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But you know what's fucked up? Fuck me up, okay?
Mm.
Do you remember the coffin?
I do. And Grandma used to fucking stand in it at the doorway for Halloween.
And then there was like an actual like thing that stood in that.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, that's your grandfather's father. Do you remember that?
I do.
What the fuck? That used to scare the shit out of me as a kid.
See, our family, man, we're not just like this by chance, okay?
No.
It's in our fucking DNA.
It is.
We were bred for this. Like, we were bred dark.
Yeah, we were bred dark. And I always thought it was mom's side. No. Dad's just as dark.
Yeah, it's both sides. We got wins from both sides.
Dad's morbid as fuck. Like,
I know he is.
He's morbid. And then when I do... What?
I was going to say, I'm starting to realize that more and more.
100%.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, I say something fucking morbid, he looks at me and goes, that's morbid. I'm like, be quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to hear it from you. Of all people.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, old man. The fuck?
And I always thought it was mom.
Yeah, so did I. Nope.
I always thought. Because mom was fucking dark. She loved that shit.
Yeah.
Dark shit. But look at what she grew up in.
Yeah.
She grew up in a fucking haunted house downtown Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since it's Halloween, maybe we should tell that story. Because we're only at an hour.
Sure. Absolutely. So, do you want to start? Which one? Which one do you want to start? About the little girls? Okay, do it.
So, apparently, in our grandfather's house...
Hold on. So, this is a house that we have known our whole lives.
Yes. My grandparents owned it since the fucking late 60s.
Give or take, yeah.
Right? We found out from Auntie that Aunt Barb and John were both born in that house.
That's right.
So Mom and Aunt Karen were born into a different house in Toronto, but then my grandparents bought 1401 Queen Street.
Yep.
In Toronto.
Had their business and all that, the roofing company.
Yeah, so we've known this house forever. So even if I go by there right now, that's still my grandfather's house.
Yep.
But when we were kids, my grandmother used to tell us these stories about when my mom and aunt and uncle were kids, about how haunted this house was.
And it was. So let's give a little bit of a backstory first.
This is the story, because we did a little bit of research on this house, and we could only go back to like 1940 something.
So here's the thing. So originally, when we were first talking about doing this podcast, we started to do a little bit of research into the history of the house, because we knew like that there was so much shit that had happened there, and there was a lot of history in that house, that we kind of wanted to find some information and do a little.
Boy, did we find out some stuff.
We did. There wasn't quite enough for me to do a whole story about it, but we can give what we got.
So do you remember when we went to the archive, and the guy that was helping us out, he said that originally where 1401 sat,
yes,
it was not originally there.
No.
So that house was moved to that spot in like the 1930s, 1940s.
Yeah.
Originally, it was part of the estate across the street.
Yes.
Okay? And that house was there since the fucking 1700s or some shit like
old
that.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, old. And if you go there now, like, you can clearly tell that this is an old motherfucking house. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But my grandfather's house was part of that estate originally, and it got moved to 1401 Queen.
Yes.
In the 1930s. So anyways, about this house, there was originally a family that lived there, I guess on the estate of the other house across the street. And the story goes that 2 little girls lived in that house, and they died of diphtheria in the house.
Yeah.
And don't know what happened or whatever, but apparently their spirits stayed. Now, when my mom and aunts and uncle were small, my grandparents would be in the house, and they would hear strange noises. Now, my grandfather did this the whole time that I remember him, is when ads would come on the TV, he would turn the volume off. Don't know if the TV was closer to them at this time, but I think it was like the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
And my grandfather's sister, Marlene, took all the kids out to the theater.
That's right.
And so my grandma and grandpa were sitting in the living room at 1401, and they turned the volume of the TV down. And I think grandma was doing her thing and grandpa was doing his thing, but the house was empty.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, my grandmother heard, "Mommy." Very, and she looks over and she says, "Jack, I thought all the kids went with Marlene." And grandpa said, "They did." And she goes, "I just heard somebody say mommy."
That's right. Yeah.
And so they were very quiet, and they heard, "Mommy." And so my grandmother jumped up and went back to where the kids' room was, and nobody was there.
Yeah, she thought they were fucking with her.
They thought they were fucking around with her.
Yeah.
And she was pissed. But then all of a sudden, everybody walked through the front door.
Yeah.
A little while later. So she knows nobody was home.
Yeah.
So let's go forward a little bit. That was something that happened often. So when the house was really quiet, my grandmother would hear a voice saying, "Mommy."
Yeah.
Okay, and I have goosebumps
so
because I remember her telling us this, and it was fucking a lot. So my Aunt Barb in the 70s was sitting in the chair or the couch, and all of a sudden she felt like something sat on top of her, and she couldn't move. She could not get up. She didn't know what was happening. She was like, why can't I get up?
Yeah.
Right? And she said it literally felt like somebody was sitting on her.
Yeah.
And she was like, can I please get up? And then she can get up.
Yeah.
And then, what was the other one?
Do you remember the basement?
No, I hated that fucking
Oh
basement.
my God. You know how you can just feel shit and you know there's like bad juju and bad vibes and bad energy?
100%.
Bro, anytime I had to go down there, I dreaded life.
I would scream for Uncle Gary. Uncle Gary!
Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah. And I'm like,
fuck do you sleep down there, my guy? I could never.
I remember, do you remember when we were kids and we walked into the house and we can hear a baby crying?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
And then we went to the back room and the TV was on.
Yeah.
But I still remember that. Now, another thing, too, was my grandfather had a habit. Now, my grandfather was a typical 1950s, 1960s man who his wife did everything for him.
Yes.
Okay?
Old-fashioned.
Yeah, very old-fashioned. And if he wanted a fucking cup of coffee in the middle of the night, she would get up out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, go and get him whatever he wanted, make it for him. And she said that a couple times she'd be in the kitchen and she would just hear like little laughter behind her. Like little, like a little girl laughing behind her.
Yep.
And so she'd be like, what the fuck? Now, when we were 11, 12, we stayed in this house. Now, we already had Shaggy, so...
Yeah, we were about 12, 13. No, it was maybe 10, 11.
Well, we got Shag in 2000, which would make me 12. So we were right around there. Shaggy was still little.
Was Grandma alive?
No.
I was going to say, then she must have just died.
No. Grandpa was already with Sandy.
Yeah, so it was within a year.
Yeah, so I was like 12, 13. We were somewhere.
Yeah.
And we stayed over at the house. Dad and Jen were going somewhere, so we had the dog.
Yeah.
And the way that this house went was when you first walk in the door, Grandpa and Sandy's room was right there.
Yep.
And then you walk in, there's the living room, the office, everything. It's very open.
Yep.
And then you walk through the living room and there's a spare bedroom right beside my grandfather's room.
Which would be there on and off throughout the years because Grandpa renovated so many times.
Yeah. And he would make it into a closet and then he would tear the closet down, make it back into a bedroom. Yeah. All that shit. So anyways, this night, so if you saw where the living room was, okay, there was a bedroom just off the living room, just like Grandpa's room.
Yep.
But we were sleeping in there because we were staying over for the night.
I can picture it right now when you
Me
walk
too.
The bed right there.
The TV up on the dresser.
Yeah.
I remember it was a big box TV too because that was back in the day.
Back in the day, it was.
And you fell asleep. You were on this side. I was by the door, and Shag was on the floor. And I was watching TV.
I slept in the inside because I was safe.
Yeah, you fucking cunt.
If anything happens,
take her.
It gets milk first.
Take her. Fucking bitch. But anyway, so we're laying there, and I had the TV down quite low because you were sleeping, and Grandpa and Sandy were sleeping.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the TV, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning because I'm not fucking sleeping in this house. There's no sleep happening.
Yeah.
And Shag started to stir a little bit, and then I heard movement outside the door.
Yeah.
Like movement. I didn't really hear anything.
Yeah.
But then Shag stood up and he went by the door and he started to tilt his head. And he was like listening at something.
Slit my own throat. Good night.
I was like, Shag. And then he turned his head to the other side, right? He was listening. And then all of a sudden I heard laughing. And I fucking slapped you in the face so hard. And you were like, what the? And I'm like, shh.
Yeah.
Listen. Do you remember this?
Yes, of course I
And
do.
I went, shh, shh. And you went, what? And I went, look at Shag. And you were like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden we could hear laughing.
Well, I was still half
Like
asleep. I
little.
remember saying, "Oh, it's probably just the mice in the walls," and you're like, "Shut the fuck up and listen."
Yeah.
So it kind of woke me up because of how serious you were. It kind of woke me
I
up a
was
little bit
scared.
more, and I listened, and I was like, "Look at my arms! If you could see
Yeah.
my arms right now," I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Should have
There was
jumped out the
little.
fucking window.
It sounded like playing. Like they
Yeah.
were playing right outside our
Well,
door.
it was like they were running back and forth in front of the door
And
and like
laughing.
playing. Yeah.
I could hear little girls laughing.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we did. What did we do after that? I think I just fucking blacked
Yeah,
out.
I was gonna say because I don't remember either.
I don't remember.
I remember
was
at one point, I don't know if it was this, it probably wasn't the same night, but Grandpa used to get up a lot in the middle of the night and he would just have his rap.
Yes.
I remember one time I went to the bathroom and I came out and he was walking with the wrap across the door because that was where the kitchen was, right?
Yeah.
And I almost shit a whole brick. And he was like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Your fucking house is haunted. You're just walking around half naked. Like, what the fuck?"
And I said, at that moment, I said, I will never fucking sleep in this house again.
Yeah. And well, you know what happened was after, do you know the next time I slept at that house where they made me fucking sleep?
Yeah, right beside the fucking basement stairs.
Bitch, on a cot.
Yeah, no.
Next to the basement stairs. And I was like, I am not getting any sleep. I was like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, I'd be safer outside right now. Like,
yeah, you'd be safer in the TTC yard.
Yeah.
But you know what? And then I swore. I said, I will never fucking sleep in this house again.
Well, then Mom got sick.
I said, as long as I'm alive, I will never fucking sleep here again. And then Mom got sick. And Mom moved back in to 1401. And then she fucking calls me in the evening and says, Mel, can you come? I'm going for chemo in the morning. And I said, Mom, please don't ask me to sleep there. And she's like, please, can you please come? My chemo appointment's at like 7.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. Right? And it was Shark Week. So I'll never forget it. Because check this out. I almost had a fucking major fucking breakdown, rocking back and forth problem. Do you remember how the back bedroom was?
Of course I do.
Where Mom was, and there was that brick wall that kind of came out, and then another brick wall.
Because that was an add-on there, yeah.
Yes. So Mom's in bed. TV's in front of me here. The kitchen's off to this side. Yep. Mom's sleeping in the bed beside me. I'm on the floor on one of those, like, you know, beanbag chairs or whatever, and I'm watching Shark Week, whatever. And there's no sleeping happening. No. Because I don't fucking sleep in this house. Well, all of a sudden, I start hearing fucking noises in the kitchen. There's no door.
Oh,
There's no door.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay? Yeah. No fucking door. It's all open. And I'm behind the brick wall. So I can't see the fucking kitchen unless I move my body forward.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing fucking noises. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm tripping. And I'm like, I think I just smoked a joint. I don't remember, but I think I was really stoned.
Yeah. In that house? Are you crazy?
I don't, Sarah, I was like 18, 19, right? So I'm fucking shoving Mom. Mom's like, what? I'm like, Mom, there's noise. She's like, don't worry, just go back to sleep. Right? And I was like, Mom, there's noise. She's like, just go back to sleep. You're okay.
Didn't sleep in the first place, but yeah.
And I'm sitting there like tripping, and I'm watching, and Mom's snoring. She's fucking out. Right away. She's out. And I'm like, Mom.
Keep in mind, she grew up in that house, so.
Right. And so I'm sitting there fucking literally shit squirting out of my ass. Okay? And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I just have to look. I just need to look. I'm going to do it real fast. And if I see anything, I'm going to scream very loud. This was my plan. I fucking had it planned, okay? Yeah. I'm watching Shark Week. Mom's sleeping. Okay, you're going to look real fast. And I'm hearing fucking noises. There's movement happening in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
So I built up the fucking courage to look quick. Susie was in there. This is my grandfather's third wife.
Yeah.
After Sandy. Him and Sandy got divorced, and he married this fucking crazy psycho woman, Susie, and she's in the fucking kitchen making him a fucking coffee at 3:00 in the morning. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, you just scared the fucking piss out of me. And so I got up and I walked over to the kitchen and I'm like, do you have any idea how scared I was?
Yeah.
And she dead ass looked me in the face and said, because of the little girls.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
What? She told me straight up right then and there. She goes, oh yeah, I've heard them.
Oh.
And I went, you've heard them? She goes, yeah, the little girls that say mommy. And I went, you're fucking joking. She goes, I've heard them. She goes, remember, Mel? She goes, I get up almost every night to make your grandfather a coffee. She goes, I've heard them.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm never coming back here.
We should see if, because, okay, the house is like an art studio now. We should see, and we do have the guy that owns the house on social media. We should see if he has cameras set up and if he's ever seen or heard anything.
Well, after Mom died,
Yeah.
Marion was in the house by herself cleaning, and the light in the back bedroom kept flicking on and off.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
So it was flicking on and off, and Marion loudly said, if it's Darlene or if it's Gail, please stop. Please stop. I know you're here. You don't have to let me know that you're here.
Yeah.
If you're here, just stop. And the light stopped flickering.
Yeah. So I remember her saying that.
You remember that?
I remember her saying that, and I remember her saying that that Mom and Grandma was there with the little girls and all this shit. And I was like,
I hope not.
I hope not either. I hope not. I think Mom's with you. Mom's with you.
I think so too.
But yeah, that house is haunted as shit. They should do a fucking haunted house shit in the fucking like spooky season. Cause damn, that house fucking got me.
Yeah, I will never. And I said, after Mom passed, I said, don't ever invite me here at night ever again, because I will not stay here. No. The only reason why I went back to that fucking house, okay? Oh, Georgie just texted me.
Oh.
Yeah, the only reason why I went back is because Mom was sick.
Yeah. So that's the story of the house we grew up in. Yeah, those poor girls.
Yeah.
Those poor girls. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, the way that they died, and to think that their spirits are still there, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's terrifying, because you never know how you're going to die. And if you die and your spirit is restless, you have to roam the earth fucking restless by yourself.
Yeah, if that's the way of it, or if it's like residual, where
you never
people
know.
just hear you, or who knows, right? Who knows? We don't know until we're gone. I think Mom is still around.
Yeah.
I have dreams of her. I'm pretty sure that I saw her in my bedroom.
Yeah.
A few months ago.
Pretty sure I saw her about a month ago in your room.
Yeah. I think she's here.
I think she's with you too.
Yeah, I do. I think she's here. There's times where I walk around my house and I can smell her perfume.
Yeah.
Still, and that's been since she's passed. I smell her perfume. I'll just walk and all of a sudden I'll get a whiff of it and I'm like, there it is.
Yeah.
And like I've even said it to Mikey, I'm like, come smell right here. And he goes, what? And I said, do you smell it? And he goes, smells like perfume. I'm like, exactly.
It's an A&A.
I'm like, that smells like my mom's perfume.
Yeah.
So he smelt it too.
Yeah.
I think she's here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, she is. She's right there. She's right.
Hi, Mama.
She's right there. That's where her ashes sit. Right up there beside the angel.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that about does it for our episode, my darling.
Yeah, I think that's it. Our episode was only like 40 minutes long, and then we just filled it in with a ghost story. Only because it's Devil's Night, and it's Halloween tomorrow, so...
Yeah, I'm going to go egg my dad.
Yeah, good luck with that. Throw something at him. But he'll be like, why the fuck you wasting an egg for, Sarah?
Oh, he would. I'll throw marshmallows at him.
That works. So here, this one's for Mel.
So, okay, well, thank you for the good episode, and I hope people enjoyed a little bit of our stories from our childhood home, our family home.
Yeah.
Creepy shit. So,
Very creepy. Very fucking creepy.
I'm staring at this burger, and this burger is staring at me.
Oh, yeah, you need to eat. Go eat.
And,
God.
yeah.
It's 9 o'clock at night.
I know. So,
good luck with that. You're definitely over your calorie count for the day.
I definitely am. And I don't even care right now. I'm going to work out like a motherfucker tomorrow morning. So.
Yeah, go change your pad. You're losing fucking blood right now anyway.
Yeah, fucking dirty bitch! I'm not going to lie. I've had to unstick my ass from the chair a couple of
times. What?
Wait, can you hear it? Hold on. Did you hear that? Did you hear like a Velcro-y?
Unstick what?
My ass from the fucking chair. My ass isn't wet. It's just sticky.
I need to go.
Yeah, me too.
Go shower.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And I'm gonna go wash my hands and eat. So
go wash your ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. So
I love you.
I love you too. I hope everybody enjoyed our episode. We'll see you next time.
You know where to find us, and email us at necromancypodcast@gmail.com or necromancypodcast@outlook.com.
Woo!
Follow the Instagram.
Yeah.
Necromancy Podcast. We have a Facebook page. What is it?
It's Necromancy Podcast. Same with TikTok.
Necromancy Podcast. Follow, share. Comment on the episode.
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Tell us what you think. Did I miss anything? Did I do a good job? Did you like
feedback, people? Feedback.
Did you like our scary story about 1401 Queen Street? If anybody looks it up on fucking Google Maps, 1401 Queen Street East in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Look up that fucking house. It says Leslieville on the side of the house.
Yeah.
It was never like that before, but they redid it.
It used to be J. Aslin Roofing.
Right. And then once my grandfather moved out and passed away, they did a whole mural on the side of this house and it says Leslieville. And I have seen people, friends of mine, that have lived in Leslieville posted on their Instagram. And I said, that is my motherfucking grandfather's house, and that bitch is haunted.
Yeah, it is.
So,
cool.
I've seen it. Even Liz sent me a picture one time and said, look what I see. Is this your grandfather's house? I said, that's my fucking grandfather's house.
Definitely is.
So, grandfather's house is slightly famous in Toronto.
I love that.
Go look at it. 1401 Queen Street East, Toronto, Ontario.
Bye. Okay, bye. Have a good night.
Bye.